What's up, gang? We just got FSD 12.6.4, and we're going to test it out here on the Las Vegas Strip on our usual first impressions route. So we're starting at Circus Circus. We're going to head to the Sphere, then the New York Hotel, then Fremont Street Experience, and then we're going to head to 11th Street Records. The release notes are the same as 12.6.3, nothing new there. So let's get started. Okay, we need to wait for traffic here. It looks like navigation out of this parking lot is still correct. It finally figured it out on 12.6.3. We had a couple mistakes with navigation wanting to go a different way than how the route is planned on the maps. That happened on 12.6.1 and 2. So no regressions here. Everything's still good. Okay, coming to a complete stop, and then now we're doing our creep for visibility. Once both these cars from the left and the right pass, we're clear. Perfect. Right now is the announcement to launch Grok 3. So we'll see. That's been promised to be an addition to our Teslas sometime soon. So we'll see how soon that is, but that'll be really exciting to be able to talk to the vehicle with a natural large language model. Okay, coming up on this yellow, we'll see how smoothly it stops. Came up with good speed, but really smooth deceleration into the stop right at the line. Perfect. Okay, we're yielding. There's a little bit of a gap there. So the car started inching into the intersection, and now it's waiting for a gap. That was a good decision to wait there. We probably want to wait for this last car. They're going really slow, and we could have gone. It's hesitating. Now it's going to go as they got into the left lane. We're getting honked at. It's the car's figuring it out. So a little delay there on trying to understand what that car in front of us was going to do. They kind of cut across all the way and got into the left lane. It seems that confused the car a little bit. Still no intervention needed. It was able to handle everything. It just really upset this car in front of us that'll probably cut across. We're coming up on the Las Vegas Strip now, and we'll be making a right turn. This is an interesting intersection. We can turn right on red here, but we do have a big crosswalk here. You can see pedestrians coming. Looks like no more pedestrians on this crosswalk, so we're inching forward to see an opportunity. The right lane is opened up, but usually in this intersection it likes to wait till it's a little bit more clear It handled that really well though. Okay, just in time getting over for this left turn. Really good arc to keep this second lane. So far, the handling feels really good. Even coming down to the downtown Las Vegas from where I live, it's about a 30-minute drive, and handled everything perfectly. I didn't have to do a thing. I like that it's staying in this lane. I don't know if this is learned behavior or not. It used to get over into the right lane since we do have a right turn up ahead. But I would say about 80% of the time that right lane is closed and coned off. So we have to merge back into this middle lane. Okay, it does look like the car's getting over to the right. This lane does end though, so we'll have to merge back over to the left. There's a car coming in a little bit hot here, so it might push us. Yep. So we'll see how it handles it. It goes right behind them. They were basically pushing us out. The car handled it just fine. Really impressed with that. Okay, the vehicle in front of us pulled over to speak to those traffic controllers, and the car didn't hesitate. It just continued on past them. Really smooth. Okay, I'm gonna take over as soon as we make this right turn. We've arrived all the way here at the sphere without any disengagements or interventions. Really good. Take me to the New York hotel. Okay, doing a good job of continuing straight instead of pulling into rideshare to the right. We've got a stop sign here. We'll see what the car does. The car does stop at it. We don't need to stop at that stop sign. I don't know if I need to flag that. It's just kind of a strange parking lot behavior. I don't think there's really no issue there. It's just awkward. Let's see what kind of routes we've got to get to. Let's see if we can go on the strip. Or no, that's back a different way. Okay, so we'll head back this way. That was the car beeping at me, telling me to pay attention. Seems to be still really strict with that. So if you're going to do any kind of changes to navigation, you kind of have to do them really quick. Let's see if I can get this fixed here. Okay. We've got a right turn up ahead with a yield and a crosswalk. So we'll have to see how well the car does. It looks like we've got traffic stopped already, so it'll stop for them anyways. We have traffic controllers. If we do get pedestrians, they will stop us. Looks like these people aren't ready to cross, so we're good to go. And it's clear. We've got a car stopped in the lane. Smoothly, without hesitation, goes around that car. Okay, we're starting to get over to the right again into this lane that ends. It's self-correcting right away. So there's no persistent memory of that lane being closed, but it is handling it every time. I've never had to disengage there. It's always handled that correctly. Like normal, I am testing everything in standard, the standard driving profile, and I do have the max speed offset set to 40%. So it will go up to 40% over the map data speed limit, which sometimes is off, and so it's good that it'll keep up with traffic, keep me safe by not going too slow. Let's say going 25 or 30 in a 45 just because the map data says it's a 25 and is incorrect. So I do use the recommended 40%. See here, this is a 25. We've been going 27, 28. We've got at least one emergency vehicle here, and we can turn right on red. We will have to see if there's a second one, or if we encounter it. An emergency vehicle. I really want to test to see how well that handles it. I'm not going to let it go too far, but I do want to see how it reacts to that. We'll be making a left turn here where that at this next light. Looks like we won't have any engagement with the emergency vehicle, so we'll be fine. car is doing a good job at lane staging. So right after that last intersection, we went ahead and got over into the right lane, as we'll be making a right turn up ahead. We're turning right onto Tropicana, and this is a yield. So we just need to watch for traffic from the left, and it's clear. Okay, this is another situation where normally, yes, we would want to get into this right lane because we have a right turn up ahead, but we do have another lane closure, so we should slow down here and get into behind this gray car to the left. Yeah. So it handled that well. The car in front of us did not handle that too well. They ended up getting stopped there in that lane. Looks like they even went back over to the right turn lane. But it did make the car in front of us dodge out, so you could see how the human driver did not handle that lane closure very well, but the automated car handled it really well. All right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit after we arrive here at the New York. I think I'm gonna have it take us to the Pepper Mill instead of getting directly onto the freeway for Fremont Street. I want to see how well this car does with that location, to see if it looks for a parking spot and parks itself. We've got somebody standing at the crosswalk, but they're not making any movement. They had a red light and a red hand to not cross. Take me to the Pepper Mill. Okay, we've got the through lane here. I was a little nervous that the car was going to get into the left valet lane, but it looks like it is understanding what to do here. We do have looks like a automated vehicle ahead of us as well, with all those expensive sensors, and everything we're handling with this perfect ride so far is cameras only. So you can see even there, the car knew that we're going through so that we could move over and get out of the way, not get stuck behind that car. And they are actually pulling out behind us, so they got themselves stuck there. Let's see what options we have here. Okay. We'll go this other route here and see how well it does. It's a little bit different. You're stopping for this crosswalk, which the car does in both lanes, no matter what. And now we're pulling in front of the T-Mobile Arena. So far, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with 12.6.4. This is feeling really, really smooth. And yeah, so far, not needing to do anything. Not even in the drop off zones or um, parking lots, anything like that so far. So it's handling this really well. Okay, we'll be taking this back frontage road, which is Frank Sinatra Drive. Okay, this is no turn on red. So it's waiting. It did turn on red. Just turned green right at that moment, but the car, if it didn't turn green, it was going to turn on red. So I'll send a snapshot of that in. That's something that we'll continue to have to be looking for and working on. We also have a blinking yellow traffic light up ahead. This is for emergency vehicles. If emergency vehicles need, like a fire station or police station, if they're responding to a call, this will turn red, but otherwise it's always blinking yellow. So far, I'm not feeling any braking. Everything's real smooth. It's continuing. Now I'm starting to feel braking. So it's pulsating the braking there. We did make it through, but even if it was braking for caution, it shouldn't be pulsating. It's like it's pulsating, like it thinks it's the light's turning yellow and about to go red, but then turns off. So it's like lets up again. So it's almost like it's confused by that. So I'll just keep having to flag that location. No need for interventions there. The car doesn't even slow down too much to really be an issue for traffic. We did slow down pretty quick there for that sign. I'm gonna send a snapshot of that as well. It must have just saw that sign in the lane. It's a pretty wide lane, but it was off to the right, and must have saw it late as it was facing the other way. Kind of dark and hard to see. So a few little braking issues there, but not anything, not even really issues. It's just something that could have been smoother or didn't need to brake at all. But really no issue if it did brake. I just wanted to flag that to see if there's any areas for improvement. Looks like we've got a caravan of Zooks, autonomous cars, turning right ahead of us. You watch this car, they're probably going to cut in. Yeah. So the car handled that really well. We've got a yield here, no pedestrians in sight. So it should just roll this, especially as we have our own lane. That was perfect. Okay, so a little bit of craziness with this two cars in front of us. Our car slowed down enough uh, to not have that be an issue, but also really smooth. I wasn't really concerned about what the car was going to do. Speed feels really good. Generally going about 5 over on open roads like this. Otherwise, following traffic speeds really well. Response time and acceleration speed on all these green lights is really good. I like that it doesn't hesitate. I'm not feeling any rushed behavior on the green lights like I felt in previous versions of 12.6. Okay, we've got our right indicator on, and then it correctly turned it off. We've got it on again. This is incorrect. We should not be making a right turn here. So I'm going to go ahead and send a snapshot of that in as well. We will be going straight through this light, then making a right turn. So we shouldn't have the indicator on until after this intersection. Okay, it started to get over to the right a little bit, then saw that it was closed off. So now we're pulling into our destination, the pepper mill. Let's see if it just takes us to the front and stops, or if we actually find a parking spot. Looks like there are a couple spots available, but it is just pulling us here into management only reserved parking. So yeah, not able to find a spot on this one. Even if it does find a spot, 12.6, these versions don't actually park itself. It'll stay in drive and just sit in the parking spot. So we can see in this situation, we won't be able to get out of this because we don't have reverse yet. Otherwise, I would just put in our next destination. So I'll just go ahead and end the trip, and we'll back out and head to the let's head to the Fremont Street Experience. Take me to the Fremont Street Experience. Okay, let's see what routes we have. We can get on the freeway, test out the freeway on this one. If you do expand the navigation, it will show you generally 3 routes that you can select from. This one I'm choosing the faster freeway route so that we can see how well the end-to-end highway stack works. So far, it's been impeccable. I really can't tell any difference between version 12 highway and version 13 highway. So I'm really impressed. Doing a full stop here on Las Vegas Boulevard and then pulling out as it is clear. It's another situation where I'm sitting at a light. We have a left turn up ahead at the next intersection, but not this intersection. So it's got our turn signal on a little bit early. I've already flagged that once in this drive. I'll leave that. I won't flag it again here, but yeah, this is something I'm noticing is a little bit early decisions for these turn signals. Okay, we've got a green light here, so we should just roll this, yield, and then we'll enter the highway section of this test. Okay, we didn't quite have an opportunity to get around the slow traffic, but it may do it now, or we may stay here because we do have to get to the right later. All right, we're transferring onto another highway here. Perfectly handled. Okay, the car being cautious. As that car to the right started kind of hitting the brakes, the car was really cautious next to them and made sure to get behind them for a second to figure out what they were going to do. Really impressed with that. That was handled really well. Because for a second there, I thought maybe they didn't know they were in an exit only lane, or maybe going to try to cut across. So yeah, the car handled that really, really well. I'm going to go ahead and end our trip here, and we'll set our next destination soon. We've arrived down here at the Fremont Street Experience. I just don't want the car to pull over here. I'm going to have it continue on to our final destination. Okay, a little bit of a pause there. I think it saw that person in the crosswalk looking like maybe they were kind of moving a little bit. Maybe it thought that they were going to cross over. And also noticed the car to our right didn't start moving right away. We have a green light here and a pedestrian, so we need to be cautious with them. But it looks like it's clear now. Take me to 11th Street Records. Okay, we need to get back over to the left. So there you go. The car was getting out of this lane that turns into a left turn only lane, but now has okay. So I'm gonna send a snapshot of that in. It did self-correct real quick. Let's see. Let me cancel out of that. Cancel out of that and look forward. Trying to get us onto the best. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So the car did start turning into that center turn lane, suicide lane, chicken lane, whatever you guys call it. It did self-correct right away. I didn't have to take over or intervene, but I did send another snapshot in. This is a turn that's been kind of a common occurrence with 12.6. So we'll have to keep testing this turn. Okay, now we'll be turning left onto Las Vegas Boulevard. And you saw that car in front of us do the exact same thing, except they were not self-driving. They were chatting with somebody on the side of the road. So now we'll be making a right up ahead into Fremont East. And this is a heavy foot traffic area, a lot of bars and restaurants here. So I really like to see how well the car does handling all this. There's no turn on red in front of us. And you saw that car in front of us turn on red. I'm going to hit the brakes. This is a no turn on red. And I'll send a snapshot of that in. There's a police motorcycle there as well, so it's a good thing to be cautious about these rules. So we did have one disengagement on this trip, and it was for that right turn on red, which we almost had a disengagement for that in another area of this trip as well. So the two things I can take away from this trip that need to be worked on are the turn indicators coming on too soon, like an intersection way too early in a couple cases, as well as those right turn on reds. Everything else has been perfect. I mean, yeah, like this is, it's hard to believe that you would feel an improvement coming from 12.6.3, but I am feeling an improvement here on 12.6.4. So yeah, this is pretty impressive. Catching that yellow a little bit. The yellow kind of popped up on us quick here. So the car handled that well. It didn't slam on the brakes or anything. It came to a smooth stop. And we're coming up to our destination soon. So we'll see if the car pulls over at the curb to stop at the destination, or if it actually turns into, there's a few parking spots right after where we could turn right. Looks like it's wanting to continue. So yeah, it is going to park again this time. There's a couple spots here. It is not handling it well though, so we kind of just ended up like angled, 45-degree angle on this sidewalk here, right in between the sidewalks. So you can see we're kind of blocking it, and the car just needs to pull up more and park. So parking's not really there yet in the 12.6 series. You'll get lucky sometimes and see it park, but it's not, I wouldn't rely on it, and it's definitely not going to put you into park once you do get into a spot or an area where the car can park itself. So just keep an eye out for that. But overall, my thoughts on this drive are really, really impressive. The only issues were right turns on red, one requiring a disengagement. The other one, we kind of caught it right before the green, so it wasn't too big of an issue to let the car go through with it. We also noticed some pulsating braking for that blinking yellow emergency traffic light. It's one that we should not have any pulsating braking. If the car is going to slow down a little bit, that's fine. Just a few miles per hour to slow down to see what's going on. But normally you would just drive through those blinking yellows at a regular speed. Just have to be cautious and prepared for that to turn red at any time if there were emergency vehicles coming up. What else? I don't think there were any other issues really. I know I flagged sent a few snapshots in. I'll have to go back and look through the video to see what all they were, but I don't feel like there were anything crazy. Just kind of some weird behaviors here and there. Overall, like I said, really good performance by 12.6.4, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next update in the next video. Thanks for watching.